Welcome to semester one. From semester one, 2022, we are required to return to in-person teaching and learning. And we recognize that return to in-person teaching and learning is not necessarily a return to the same approach to teaching and learning that we used pre-COVID. During the emergency remote teaching, the COVID pivot had certainly in some ways propelled us to try and rethink our teaching and learning approach. One that is more student-centered, one that is more technology-enabled. And in fact, you might be saying, I have been teaching 2 years online and see no reason why you can't continue. You should, however, be reminded that this arrangement was a temporary accommodation, a temporary measure of emergency remote teaching to ensure teaching and learning continuity. And so it is important that while we understand the urge to revert to some of the online teaching strategies, that you must do so within the remit and constraints of the university policy, as well as best practice. You know, if, for example, you would like to convert your approved face-to-face course to online and blended, then you should be guided by the UWI policy, and it's a specific policy that you can find, the UWI policy on quality assurance of online and blended courses and programs. You can download a copy of this policy from CETL's website. It's also available on BOSS website as well. So CETL is here to encourage you to be mindful as well of the accreditation requirements when converting your face-to-face course to the blended online. You know, ACTT General Condition Agreement specifies that if an institution wishes to offer 60% or more of its program using online modality, then they would have to seek ACTT's approval, as this would constitute what is considered substantive change. However, you know, there is some flexibility. If your program initiates online modality where the program contact hours is, you know, you have less than 60, then no ACTT approval is required. This, therefore, requires careful consideration of which courses that would be most appropriate, best fit for the online modality. More importantly, teaching online and blended requires careful, intentional effort in creating a most appropriate teaching and learning environment that will foster student success in the online environment. You know, it is important for us to see that fostering quality teaching and learning as being part of student success, which is not always easy. And so we invite you to take special effort in adhering to the UWI policy because it is clearly geared to guiding our quality teaching and learning in the online and blended setting. So a blended course in the UWI setting means at least 1 credit hour, which is 12 contact hours of face-to-face teaching or equivalent, must be replaced with teaching and learning in the online setting. So note that you do not necessarily need to convert your course to a blended course based on that definition. So if you decide to use some online instructional strategies that is less than 12 hours, contact hours for your course, you can certainly do that. You have a face-to-face class, but it's a web-enabled or course that you are using technologies and approaches to include assignments in My Learning and so forth. But we invite you to rethink your course design. Consider your learners' context. You may, for example, want to draw on principles that would cater for multiple contexts. I know this is a difficult thing to really wrap our head around, but universal design for learning it focuses on creating teaching environments that are flexible, inclusive, and student-centered. So that is key here. And so one of the key things is trying to make the resources accessible, the activities and assignments accessible to students, given the challenges that we would expect in this new setting. Make an intentional effort to support students when they are unable. And so this is not a mandatory thing, but we do encourage you know, students may be absent from your class, and so the recording might be something that you want to consider if you really want to support student success while they are unable to attend your in-person class. Given that, you may get COVID or the student may get COVID, this might be a very good way for continuity. And a natural thing that we're thinking of is obviously technology enabled. For example, you may make the use of mind learning as part of your in-person teaching strategy, even though it's an in-person class. Again, the short recordings and lectures, or really having a clear understanding of whether you want to have the Zoom recording shared via your own YouTube channel, or upload it to OneDrive or any other repository that you think that you want to control. That's certainly within your right to do so. You may also think of hosting your synchronous office hours using virtual conferencing tools like Zoom or even Teams. And we invite you to certainly subscribe to our YouTube channel. While I'm at it, I'll just encourage you to do that. There is, these are some of the things we want you to think about. And when deciding to convert to your face-to-face course to blended, we also have a link to the Sunny online course quality review, which is a rubric used to measure or evaluate the quality of the course. So you may want to look at that. It's on our website, and you may want to look at that in really seeing how well your course measures up. And UWI has adopted this framework in its quality assurance for blended online to see how our courses measure up. Please continue to reach out to Settle. If you need any assistance, we have a number of pathways to support your success. Stay calm and keep on teaching, keep on learning. You can send us an email at settle@sta.uwe.edu. You can also book a consultation, and we value your voice so much that we've actually created a new online environment where you can share best practices in a community of learners just for STA faculty. Thank you, and we look forward to seeing you and communicating and interacting with you this semester.